evening, everyone, and welcome to the Danny Grieves Show. This is Coach Danny Grieves, Scott Kerker. Coach, it's been a little while since we've had a chance to talk, but
yes.
You've played quite a few games. I think you've played 7 games since we last talked.
5 and 2.
5 and 2. Pretty good. You played a pretty good Bloomington team. You played right before Christmas. U-High, a pretty good U-High team. Bloomington was, you kind of took it to them a little bit.
Yep.
And then you went over to the State Farm Classic. You went 2-2 over there.
Right.
And then you got back into conference action Saturday night against Pekin. Got a W there. Going back before Christmas, though, I thought those 2 games before Christmas you played awfully well.
Well, it was nice to get those 2 teams in. They're usually quality teams. They're both down just a little bit from what they used to be. But, the program's still the same and the style's still the same, so it was good to get those games in.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought it set you up very well going into the State Farm tournament. And get wins, stockpile some wins is always important.
Right. 11-game win streak was nice.
Yes, it was very nice. And then you went into the State Farm tournament, got a nice win against a pretty good Springfield team.
Well, I thought we got kind of a bad draw. I didn't think we were a 10 seed. And we put it on Springfield as bad as we can. It was an ugly game, man. It was an old Pekin style type of grind,
right?
Well,
you played in the morning, and for whatever reason, we're not an AM team, all right? But that's okay. Oh, you got to win, and all you need are wins. And when you get wins, that's important.
The great thing is, they must not be a very good
AM team
either.
Yeah.
Right.
So then the next day you played a pretty good Rock Island team. They had no idea what was coming.
They had no idea, and I think we beat them so bad, I think we really took their heart out. Mm-hmm. They haven't won a game since.
Ooh.
They went 1-3 over there, and I forget who beat them, and then they went to Quincy over the weekend and got beat.
Well, I think Peoria Central beat them the day after we did.
Yep, sure did.
And
so did Chicago North?
I believe.
Lawndale.
Or if Lawndale beat them. And, I kind of figured you'd kind of taken the heart out of them with 4:38, I believe, to go in the game.
Right.
They emptied their bench. You guys were up, I think, about 15 or 16 points.
That was surprising, though.
A little bit.
Not as surprising as Morton when they
no, earlier, but not at all. But yeah, I thought that was your team was playing very well. You played the last 2 games. You played tough draws: East St. Louis and Wheaton-Warrensville South.
East St. Louis length really bothers. They went 6'5", 6'8", 6'8", 6'9", and 5'6". Obviously, the 5'6" was pretty quick. But I think when we play back-to-back games, and we wear down a little bit, our margin of error is not great against more athletic teams than we are, and I think that hurt us a little bit. But our effort was still there. We just didn't have the input.
Well, I always believe that you can't beat those teams until you play those teams.
Right.
And now you've played those teams, and you're getting better and better. And you're not going to see that kind of athleticism and length in the Mid-Illini Conference.
No. And if you give us a couple days or even a day where we can just prepare, I mean, our prep is pretty good.
You think?
For the prep on Rock Island, we had 99 clips of everything they do. Every individual, their individual moves, every inbounds play, every set, every defensive thing they do. So, I mean, you give us a little bit of time to break it down, we're going to get them.
And, the thing about Rock Island, and even if you went and looked in their newspaper the day after, they talked about how they outsized Metamora.
Right.
But the 2 most thunderous dunks in the game, the only 2 dunks in the game,
right,
were by Metamora.
Yes.
So, that size didn't bother you. They didn't quite have the length East St. Louis did, but they still had some length and athleticism.
It was great to see E come in and do a good job. And, of course, we had a lot of input from a lot of different individuals.
Oh, yes.
But when he's on and he can score a little bit, he takes the pressure off everybody else.
Your team does seem to be well-rounded.
Yeah. We got 4 guys right at double figures.
Right. That's pretty tough.
We got a 5 and a 5 and a 4, and we've got some other guys that can do a few things too. They're just not out there, so
right,
that really helps. Against Pekin, the other night we went 9 deep with 2 guys out, 2 starters out. So
right,
you know, everybody's hurt a little bit. Everybody's got people out for whatever reasons, COVID or quarantine or whatever, and
injuries.
Our guys just keep grinding and don't make excuses, just trying to make it happen. So I'm real proud of them.
And they're finding ways to win.
Yeah.
Things aren't always going to go pretty.
Right.
You know, I think you said one time, you know, you're not going to be dancing with the prettiest girl at the dance.
Right.
But you got to find a way to get in the dance.
Although I did. I was always lucky. And I married up, so life is good.
Anyway, yeah, you know, when you played Pekin the other night, another conference win. You're now 6-0 in the Mid-Illini Conference.
Yep.
I thought the game the other night was very similar to your first game, and we talked about that after the game. And when you play Pekin, it's not the margin of victory; it's just get the victory.
It's not pretty ever.
No.
You know, and we've had some pretty good teams go up against them, and it's just one of those things. They try to muddy up the waters and do a good job with it. And, you know, we just needed to stay the course and do a good job, and that's what they did.
And you found a way to win.
Yeah.
A lot of teams over the course of the years, in whatever sport, have sometimes collapsed under that pressure.
Sure have.
Against a team that's not as good as you are.
Right.
But the other team, they were just gritty, and they were, like you said, muddied the waters and stayed around, made enough shots to make it close.
Right.
And at the end of the game, you didn't collapse, you didn't fold, they did.
You know, our pressure defense the entire 32 minutes was which it makes them, you know, pressure makes the pipe break. And if you think about it, the last offensive play they had over at Pekin, the kid dribbled off his foot.
Same thing.
The last offensive possession they had it here, the kid dribbled off his foot.
Yeah. And
I don't know if they're running dribble off my foot drills or we're just that good at times when we needed to be, but I was real proud of the pressure that made that happen.
I thought it was from the beginning of the game to the end of the game, that it was the whole game constantly in your face. They never had any clear looks. I mean, a couple times they'd get a breakaway on a press break or whatever.
They run anywhere from 9 to 11 sets. You know, on any given possession, they might run 3 or 4 sets if they don't get what they want. So, you know, they're really goal oriented on trying to score off their different sets, and they're really good stuff. I mean, you got to really grind and work and get through a double stagger and then an elevator screen and then so our kids, I was real proud of the effort.
And they had some big kids. Yeah. McLeod was a big, he's an all-conference football player. He's out there throwing his body around and
playing very physical.
Very, very physical. Yeah. And I thought Jake Nealon and Kaiser Quick did an outstanding job of neutralizing him. They got him to foul out.
Yeah, sure did.
And, they brought in another guy, too, that was awfully big and strong. And it kind of nullified him a little bit, too.
And we thought if we could give them a little bit in the paint, that they might hurt us, but they wouldn't beat us. You know, when we held their best scorers under their average again, that's big.
That took everything away from them. And I think that sets you up really well for this coming week. You've got a game Friday and then a game again on Monday.
Right.
And that, your schedule has really set you up well for these upcoming games.
Yeah.
And your tournament that's coming up, too.
Right.
You've got some good teams coming in on that. You get Bradley Bourbonnais and Chicago Lindblom, I believe.
Yes.
And Canton. That's the conference game you play.
Yep.
So those games are going to be awfully, awfully competitive.
Well, we're looking forward to them. Anytime you get a tournament at home and you get that many games at the house, and don't have to go on the road, and your folks can stay home and watch you, and it's always exciting.
Yeah, that's going to be awfully exciting, and you get to go up and play in Chicago on Martin Luther King Day up at Chicago Hyde Park.
You guys riding with us?
Yep.
Good.
We're going to go up there. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be it's kind of a bonus game.
Yeah, it is.
And when you
gets a really good Oak Park team.
Yeah, and man, you get wins in those kind of situations. That's just such a huge thing for you.
It'll be neat to go up. Hyde Park was in our tournament before. It'll be neat to go to their school and see where they come from.
Right.
And live where they live for a moment. We've got the 3:15 games, and we get out of town before it gets dark.
Yep. I'm looking forward to that. When you look at the Mid-Illini right now, anybody surprising you?
I thought Canton would be a little better. They started out really hot, but they've had some really tough games, and they've tried to overcome some things. Everybody's got injuries, everybody's got quarantines, everybody's got COVID kids, and you just don't know night to night who each might have. Pekin was without their point guard and their backup point guard. And of course, we were without 2 of our guys. And so, you know, on any given night, it's just a matter of, you know, it's nice that we went 9 deep because we can.
Right.
And we don't lose a whole lot, you know, between, you know, 6 and 9 or 6 and 10 or 11, whatever we're going to play. And, you know, I think that's the difference is our bench and our depth. We can overcome a lot of things.
Ryan Vogel did the game with me. He hasn't done every game. He's done a few. And he said what really impressed him was the fact that no matter who you brought in, they seemed, the lights didn't seem to be too bright for them.
Right.
They came in and they knew exactly what they were supposed to do, and they did it.
Well, we try to go with a tough schedule in the summer and hard practices where we got them under pressure all the time. And so when they do get in the game, it's not too fast for them. You know, it slows down, and they can adjust accordingly, and they look good doing it. And I think that you know, with the schedule we've set and all the work we've done, you know, guys come in and the games aren't too big for them. Right. You know, and that's kind of nice.
Coach, you go to Washington this coming Friday, and always a big game, always a huge rivalry game. That's going to be a lot of fun.
It always is. And then it's always frustrating because they never really treat us very nice over there.
No,
which is okay. But we just got to go over there and you know, be physical and take care of business.
Yeah, they have 2 returning players from last year, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Kerker, Mapson, and Lewis.
Right.
The 3, they're big 3. But you return your 5 starters.
Right. And
some pretty good backups.
Pretty good backups, juniors, sophomores.
Freshmen.
I've got a freshman up now, so you know I'm looking forward to the challenge, and I'm sure our guys are too.
Coach, we'll let you get going here. You have a freshman game here in just a little bit, but thank you so much, and good luck Friday night.
Appreciate you, man.
No problem. That'll do it. We'll see you Friday night in Washington.